appreciate it. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the form, conceptual poetry is a 21st century literary movement. It's self-described by its practitioners as an act of uncreative writing. In its most extreme forms, such works are process-oriented and non-expressive. We're going to start our reading off with Angela Genusa. Oh, I'm sorry, we're actually starting with Stephen McLaughlin. Stephen is a PhD student at UT School of Information and is senior editor at the Penn Sound Poetry Archive. His work has appeared in Jacket 2, Goss PDF, The Volta Blog, and Against Expression, an anthology of conceptual writing. Stephen, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to start off with a couple excerpts from a piece I published last year called Puniverse, which is a 57-volume set of computer-generated puns. Comes to about 320,000 of them. I use the term quite loosely, so it's an idiom set, an idiom dictionary with a rhyming dictionary, just swapping in every rhyming word in every idiom. So I'll just jump right in. This is from volume 38, and I should mention we have a handful of the 57 over in the back for sale. Play Russian a bet. Play Russian Annette. Play Russian as yet. Play Russian baguette. Play Russian baguette. Play Russian barbette. Play Russian barrette. Play Russian beget. Play Russian beset. Play Russian brunette. Play Russian brunette. Play Russian cadet. Play Russian cassette. Play Russian close set. Play Russian cold sweat. Play Russian cornet. Play Russian corvette. Play Russian couchette. Play Russian dead set. Play Russian diskette. Play Russian driftnet. Play Russian duet. Play Russian forget. Play Russian gas jet. Play Russian gazette. Play Russian georgette. Play Russian gillnet. Play Russian jet set. Play Russian lorgnette. Play Russian null set. Play Russian octet. Play Russian offset. Play Russian pipette. Russian preset. Play Russian quartet. Russian quintet. Russian regret. Play Russian reset. Play Russian rosette. Play Russian saucet. Play Russian sextet. Play Russian Tibet. Play Russian upset. Play Russian vignette. So it's, as you can see, it's almost entirely garbage. But every 50 lines, 70 lines, 100 lines, there will be some little spark of something. And I think that my ideal future audience for this sort of work, and the ideal way this would play itself out, somebody out there is starting a coffee shop or a blog or something and comes up with some kind of clever name, Googles it, and finds that I got there first. Just jump back in. This is from volume 1, a brief passage from Puniverse. A hop, skip, and a bump. A hop, skip, and a chump. A hop, skip, and a clump. A hop, skip, and a crump. A hop, skip, and a dump. A hop, skip, and a flump. A hop, skip, and a frump. A hop, skip, and a grump. A hop, skip, and a gump. A hop, skip, and a hump. A hop, skip, and a lump. A hop, skip, and a plump. A hop, skip, and a pump. A hop, skip, and a rump. A hop, skip, and a slump. A hop, skip, and a stump. A hop, skip, and a sump. A hop, skip, and a thump. A hop, skip, and a trump. Okay, so I'm going to move to another sort of generative, aleatoric-oriented generative work. This time of year, I always think of Moby Dick. I first read it, sort of sitting outside in the sunlight, sweating. Perfect summer book, and probably the greatest book of all time, obviously. So I dip back in around this time of year, read little pieces, but I always want there to be more. And for that matter, I'm not going to read through it from the beginning. It's nice to just kind of get in there and spend some time with the language. So you may be familiar with the Markov chain method of text generation. It's just sort of the most simple, naive way of turning some body of text into grammar, more or less grammatical, more or less sense-making language. Anyway, so I'm going to jump into this little excerpt of Markov Dick, this reworking of recycling of Moby Dick. Ere this, you still occasionally meet with very curious to watch this harem and its great honorableness and antiquity, and especially on a common soul in all animated nature. From certain cloistered old authors, I have no lightning rods, but shall this crazed old man had no voice, save that boy, he's drowned with the stubbornness of life, considering that Starbuck almost the one visible quality. In the bottomless blue rushed mighty leviathans, swordfish and sharks, and these fish seemed condemned to swim in a tree. Yes, our 3 masts overboard in that uneasy position, stark alone in the voyage. If I do so knowingly, would thereby render yourself liable to this day, Captain Pollard, in a pennant pole, 2 or 3 years afloat, the Nantucketer out of the hull of London, put in a pickle, As for Peleg himself, he would considerably outweigh the combined fires of the world. It is as though naught but death should part us twain. I now alluded to. But Ahab, my captain, still moves before me to steer by transpointed needles, though clumsily practicable, was not to flee worldwide from God, miserable man, oh, most contemptible and worthy of all previous geological periods, may it not so? Well then, will it do to be comfortable anymore? But if, like Queequeg, you don't get it back, whoever helped him carry a small bag of woody earth scraped up in bed, stiff as a means of quick wonder and awe. And it goes on like that. I printed a large-scale version of this on a 3-foot plotter, probably about 27 feet tall. I was fortunate to have a little gallery space last year and hung that from the rafters. Gathered at the floor. Yeah, so it's generative works of these sorts, these large-scale sort of domed, flat, recombinatory works have a really long history, clearly going back to the 50s in digital form, but even further. But until even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, they were almost entirely academic, at the periphery of the culture. And it's been really interesting in the last couple of years to watch the Twitter bot scene really develop, which I think is it's a great instance of a mainstreaming, more or less, of its avant-garde aesthetics without a direct lineage, just largely independently. So I think that my work in the immediate future is going to be centered on Twitter. I'll just throw out a few key references. The greatest, the first really great Twitter bot is Every Word, made by Alison Parrish. It ran from 2007 to 2014. It just ended last summer, in which she tweeted every word in some dictionary, but every word in the lexicon, a lexicon, at many per day. Very successful, especially as it was winding down. There were lots of spin-offs. Fuck Every Word is one of them. So just from, I checked this today, so fuck colloquialisms, fuck colloids, fuck collectivism, and so on. 42,000 followers for that. Many faves and retweets for that kind of, just such a sort of dumb thing. Another one is Every Word in Your Ass, colloquialisms in your ass, and so on. My most recent favorite one is Every Punk. So just from earlier today, swimsuit punk, swimming punk, no space, just punk appended to the end of every word. Swimmer punk, swim punk, swill punk, swig punk, swiftness punk, swift punk, swerve punk, and probably the greatest, less structured Twitter bot, Olivia Tater's, was recently taken down. This is a Twitter bot by Rob Dubbin, which takes sort of teen girl language, presumably scraped from Twitter, and recombines it with often uncanny results. I'll just throw in a few because Olivia's had her API key revoked by Twitter. It's a little mysterious at this point, but she may not be coming back. So just a few Olivia references. Gotta admit, I am secretly better than you in probably more than 92 ways. In my 18 years of living, I've discovered boys are definitely faithful and travel together by holding on to each other's tails. I am literally the floor. One of my favorites. So R.I.P. Olivia. And so I've been pushing into, I've dipped a toe, I should say, into the Twitter bot world. And I'm just gonna show you a few excerpts here. I made a bot named 2emoji, which is essentially what's on the tin. It's 2emoji posted many times a day. It was about 4 times an hour for a while. I scaled it back to 2 because people were unfriending the bot. I guess I'll just show you an example. But it's going to be about 300,000 posts in all when all is said and done. And I just pulled out some that have been retweeted by followers. So if I just went through a bunch of these randomized 2 emojis and pulled them out, that would feel a little bit cheap. But this seems more rigorous because other people, the crowd, so to speak, has done the curation for me. So I'm just going to work through a few examples here. I've got honeybee confused face here, retweeted by Trauma Bean, Swiss guy I met one time. Incoming envelope, dolphin from Livy Applebaum. Flushed face calendar. And I know that feeling. Every one of these seems like an instance of the Kuleshov effect, which is this kind of it's part of the sort of the grammar of montage in cinema, named after Lev Kuleshov, Soviet director working in the late teens and through the 20s. He juxtaposed. He had a sequence in which one individual expressionless face was juxtaposed with an image of a woman on a divan with food and other things. The audience thought that he was making different expressions based on what he was juxtaposed with. So there's kind of putting two images next to one another forces you to draw some meaning out of it. So moving along, I've got pants knife, pants hocho knife specifically, Japanese knife from Tim Leonido. We've got a very straightforward one here from Sofia Lafraga. It's a hospital, person with pouting face. Ear of rice, floppy disk, discovered by Diana Hamilton. I think this one's probably the best. This would make the best tattoo of this set, I think. I really am rather fond of that. We've got shower cooking, face screaming in fear, Earth Globe Americas, which is the formal name of that emoji, Earth Globe Americas. A little on the nose, but a good entry from J.P. Kellen. Artist palette sheep from Julia Shorts. Thought balloon horse. And this is what it's all about. This is really, I wouldn't have noticed this if it hadn't been retweeted, but this is from somebody named Hentai Addy, something like that. Extraterrestrial alien, optical disc. And I like the extraterrestrial alien as opposed to alien is not ambiguous. It's like a Unicode consortium speak. I like that choice. Fork and knife penguin, Scott McNally. This was my choice, cheering megaphone donut. And finally from Sarah Bickley, maybe the winner, Rainbow Pistol. Yeah, so every combination will come up naturally, but there is a pleasure in that, in just like committing to that surprise. That little possibility of serendipity in your feed. So do subscribe. We have, I think, still 40 followers maybe. Very unpopular feed, partly because it jams up people's Twitter feeds, needlessly perhaps. But follow me, do emoji. Okay. And finally, I'm just gonna pull out a little riff on. I feel bad bringing up this topic because it's such a dumb cliche, but people calling out other people for using the term literally incorrectly. And I'm a hardcore descriptivist, so that's not me. But I do like this idea that any word in the language, for that instance to be consistent, any word in the language can be used figuratively, with the exception of the word literally. And so I just kind of extrapolated, pulling other adverbs. And so this is my prescriptive grammar towards a greater consistency in the spoken language. The word literally may not be used figuratively. The word quickly may not be used slowly. The word hotly may not be used coolly. The word heavily may not be used lightly. The word roughly may not be used tenderly. The word exactly may not be used imprecisely. The word blindly may not be used perceptively. The word shabbily may not be used elegantly. The word primly may not be used wantonly. The word stupidly may not be used astutely. The word gaily may not be used somberly. The word gingerly may not be used ham-fistedly. The word clearly may not be used obscurely. The word wholly may not be used in part. The word truly may not be used to deceive. The word regularly must be used regularly. The word never may not be used ever. Thank you.